In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an AI leads research agent. So to see how this works, if we come to this contact form, we enter the first name, last name, and the website. If I submit this and let me ensure that my workflow is activated, execute workflow, now it is listening. So if I come back here and I submit this, if I come to this workflow, what is going to happen is that it grabs the data, it updates this sheet, right? You can say first name, the last name, and the website. Then it takes this website. If you come back to this workflow, it's going to go to that website and it's going to pull details from that website. After it has pulled details from the website, it's going to analyze the details from that website. Then it's going to update the business name that you got from the website, a summary of the business, the product that the website is selling, what is their target audience, their value proposition, and the differentiators. Now, this is going to take a minute because it's going to take some time to pull that data and analyze it. So the workflow has completed. This analysis agent has completed its work and it has updated the sheet. So if we come back to this lead sheet, you can see it got the name as Invoice Smart, it got the business summary, it got the product, it got the target audience, it got the value proposition. Now, if you go directly to that website, exactly this is an invoicing website and the name is Invoice Smart, which is exactly the details that it got from this place. So let me go right into this workflow and I explain to you node by node, step by step, how to build something like this. So the first thing here is your webhook. So if I open up this webhook, what this webhook does is that whenever data is submitted, this webhook is constantly listening, right? So whenever data is submitted to the webhook, it grabs that data and it triggers the workflow. If you want to understand how webhooks work in more details, I've left a link in the description that shows you how that happens. So you have a post method HTTP. This is the part. There's no authentication, and parameter here under respond is immediately. So you can see all the data that it extracted. It extracted the K, which is the first name, the last name, which is Boucher, and the website, which is the getinvoice.com, right? This is the webhook URL. If I come back to the next node, right, which is your set fields node, what it's just basically doing is that it is extracting just the relevant fields, the time this was created, the first name, the last name, and the get invoice. This is all drag and drop. I take this value and I drop it here. If you ensure that this is schema, it is very easy for you to just drag and drop it here. The next field is where I'm storing the data that it has captured from the webhook into the leads sheet, right? So if I come back here, you can see that it has appended the first name, the last name, the website, and the time it was created. So you can see under the operation here, I'm using the append or update rule. Now here, credentials to connect. If you don't know how to connect your credentials, your Google Sheet credentials, or basically your Google credentials in n8n, I've also left a video in the description that shows you how to do that. So you can see all the fields that I'm mapping. So I'm using the time to match, right? So that I'm matching data that are the same. That is why I always use time. Or if you have a way of creating a unique ID, that is also a good way to use it to match so that it's updating the correct rule in your database or in your Google Sheets. Now the next node here is the search website. Now I've extracted the first name, the last name, and the website. So I'm going to take this website. This is basically a HTTP request, but this time around, I'm using Firecrawl to do extract. So we are using the extract endpoint in Firecrawl. I reach out to the website, I crawl through that website and extract detailed information. So if you come under this, the body type content, which is JSON, if I expand this out, you can see the URL is the website I submitted, which is the getinvoicesmart.com. Then the prompt here says, visit and review the website content, then extract detailed insights about the business. So it's going to go to that website. Basically, it's going to look through the website and it's going to extract detailed information. Now we have a wait node here. This is because once I send out this request, it usually takes time to do that. So what the wait node does is that it gives it some time to do the processing. So if I open up this wait node here, you can see it is waiting 30 seconds. So after 30 seconds, it takes the ID and it goes to check. You can see there's another node here. What this node is basically doing, this node is just checking. You can see the endpoint is still extract for Firecrawl, but this time I'm supplying the ID of that search. So each search has a unique ID. So this is the ID here. I'm supplying the ID of that search to this HTTP request. So what it's doing is checking, has the processing completed? Now you can see here the status says it has completed. So once it checks if the processing has been completed, there's another if node here. This if node is just basically checking. If the process has completed, it goes to the next node. If not, it comes back to this wait node and waits another 30 seconds, then checks again. If it is not yet complete, it comes back to this wait node, waits another 30 seconds, then checks. In this particular case, after 30 seconds, it was able to retrieve that data. So immediately you can see that the true branch is true, which means that it was completed. And this is the data it extracted. So I can move this out of this place. You can see this is detailed data from the website, which is that it has extracted. Let me bring this back. Now, after it has extracted that detailed data, it sends it to this leads research AI agent. So what this is basically doing, if I open up the system message here, you can see I've told it you're an AI assistant that analyzes business websites. So you've given it what the business website is, and you've told it, oh, what we want you to do, we want you to review the website content, then extract key insights about the business. We want you to focus on products and services, pricing, target audience, and differentiation. Then I've told it to return the output in JSON format only. So I can say the business name, and I've even added a confidence score so that it tells me how confident it is in that result. You can see this is just basically a prompt, and you can always use ChatGPT to come up with a prompt like this. But let's look at the result. You can see that the output here, the business name is Invoice Smart, and it's pretty confident, 0.9. Because if you come back to this place, we told it that your confidence score should be a number between 0, which is low confidence, and 1.0, which is very high confidence. So you can see here 0.9 is pretty high confidence. The industry, invoicing and financial software, pretty high confidence. These are the product and services. You can see all this data. I could have also added a note to say if the confidence level is less than maybe 0.5, drop that information. But here we are extracting everything, and we are basically sending it to the next node. So after extracting it, remember OpenAI model. If you open this place, I've connected my OpenAI credentials. The model is GPT 4.1. This is what is doing the analysis. Once it has done that analysis, it ensures structured output format. Then it comes here. What this one is then doing is just basically appending that information. So it's going to, again, it's using time to match so that I'm sure it was the time that that particular request was created is the time that is using to match that particular data. So you can see Invoice Smart. This is the business summary. Offers a smart invoicing solution. It also gives you, these are the products: professional invoice creation, invoice sending, payment tracking, automated payment follow-up, the target audience, freelancers and solo business owners. This is the value proposition: create professional invoices quickly and easily, send them and track payments. Now, if you go through this getinvoicesmart.com, that is basically what the promise is, right? Get paid faster without your hassle and everything. So it pulled all this data and it analyzed it. So that is how it got the key differentiators and all that information. Then it came back to this and it updated this. So if you're generating leads, you can immediately generate leads. If you're also getting their website, you grab their website, analyze their website, and you're able to extract key insights so that you're not doing the research, but your AI leads research agent does that work for you. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like, comment, and share so that YouTube can send this to others that may benefit from this. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.